Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you to the AHN Nephrology Educational Webinar Series number 96. And today we are grateful to have our panelists all the way from India. And our topic will be women in nephrology. So I'm happy to introduce to you our discussant. The first one is Dr.Urmila Anandh, is the president of Women in Nephrology from India, senior consultant and head of nephrology, Armita Hospital, India. Our second discussant is Dr. Manjusha Yadla. He's a secretary of Women in Nephrology, India, and professor and head of nephrology, Gandhi Medical College in India. And the third discussant is Dr. Swarnalatha. He's a treasurer of Women in Nephrology, India. She's a professor and head of nephrology, Nizam Institute of Medical Science. So today we are happy to have our nephrologist all the way from India, and our topic, as I've said, will be women in nephrology. So each of them will take us through a series of things. And first of all, I would like them to start telling us about the journey of women in nephrology in India. You are welcome.
Good evening. I'll start this 1-hour program rolling, and I must thank Africa Health Network for giving us this opportunity to share our experiences with women nephrologists in Africa. And in fact, when we had our first joint webinar with International Society of Nephrology, we actually have an Indian nephrologist and we call another international nephrologist as a part of our ISN webinar. The second nephrologist was one of the most well-known women nephrologists from Africa, Gloria Ashun Tantang. So we hope that all of you, after this meeting, would sort of be encouraged by our experience and start forming a group or an initiative, bringing together the diverse women nephrologists in Africa. I'm aware that the women nephrologists in Africa, despite its limitations, are doing wonderful job. So I request you all to, I hope something happens or starts the ball rolling after this meeting. Women in Nephrology has been a journey for more than 10 years. We had our first meeting, an informal meeting, which was a one-day meeting symposium actually in Bangalore, Electronic City in 2011, when Dr. Anuradha Raman, Dr. Arpana Iyengar, and Dr. Manisha Sahai, who's our vice president of Women in Nephrology, organized a meeting, and we women nephrologists from all over the country gathered in Bangalore. I almost missed the meeting because of a 3-hour traffic jam between the airport and Electronic City. And then after the meeting, we decided that we will take this initiative forward. Unfortunately, we all got busy and not having much of support from the parent society of Indonesian Society of Nephrology. This meeting sort of petered out. Then on and off, we have been thinking that we should be doing something. And it actually crystallized when I shifted from Mumbai to Hyderabad, when our current treasurer, Dr. Swarnalatha, who's been very keen to organize some meetings and help women nephrologists and work for them. So we did a 2017, a small initiative where we called our senior nephrologists in Hyderabad, and over a nice biryani meal in the evening, we discussed how to thrash it out and take this forward. After this, there was some initiative, some work happened. One of our senior nephrologists, Dr. Kumud Mehta, who is a pediatric nephrologist from Bombay, Dr. Muthu Jayaraman, they tried our best to integrate ourselves with the Indian Society of Nephrology. Dr. Vijay Kher, who was the president at that time in Indian Society of Nephrology, did try, and we had a afternoon session once in Indian Society of Nephrology. But after that, we realized that it didn't work out much. We did a small meeting in between where Manjusha Yadla, our current secretary, ourselves, organized a small Zoom meeting. But then again, it was sort of, little efforts, but nothing concrete. It was only last year when I had the privilege of talking to Dr. Liz Lightstone, who is a counselor in International Society of Nephrology and also a counselor for women in nephrology, a part of American Society of Nephrology in America, and Professor Lisa Curtis, who was the president of Women in Nephrology. That is a United States organization. With their support, we kickstarted our program, and the program actually started as a Zoom webinar where Professor Lisa Curtis, Professor Liz Lightstone, and Professor Valerie Lakes, who is also an ISN advocacy chair, all helped us start our program. And that was the beginning. And after that, we have been very, very fortunate as a group to grab worldwide attention. We have actually a joint session, that is International Society of Nephrology, Women in Nephrology India, in the World Congress. It started in 2022. Now we have another one in 2023. And this is becoming a common feature. This is because the International Society of Nephrology feels that this kind of initiative should be encouraged and taken forward. And that is why when Manjusha Yadla and Swarnalatha felt that we should talk with Africa women nephrologists, and then this is how Lloyd, being a link between us and you, this meeting is happening. And I think after this, I'll request both Manjusha and Swarnalatha to discuss some of these. Swarnalatha will be able to tell what are the aim, what were the thought process behind this. Why did we take this meeting? How are we different? It is just not a platform to have conferences, but way beyond it. And Manjusha will also be able to tell this. And all of you, please, after this discussion, please feel free to put your questions and we will be able to help you. We started from 3 mentors internationally. We will guide you, and I can 100% guarantee you the International Society of Nephrology is very keen to start initiatives worldwide. So I think this is the time for African women nephrologists to seize the opportunity and make your presence felt in the international platform, especially in International Society of Nephrology. Thank you. Manjusha, Swarnalatha.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, madam. I think it's very nice that we are connecting across the continents. So I take this opportunity to share my PowerPoint, Dr. Lloyd. So this is how we started. Madam has already said few things about the Win India. So this is how Madam was mentioning about the experience. I'll just take you through the next 20 slides of our Win India journey, that how we had started. Of course, though there were a little baby attempts and little abortive attempts in the initial years, but over a period of time, we became successful. I'm sure Win Africa is also going to be successful over a period of time. And as I said in the chat box, we'll handhold you at any point of time at all the events and all the steps. So that you also become equally good and powerful on the international platform. So this is from Amazing India. We have different incredible India with impeccable women that we have from all the corners of the society and all the states. As you know, it's very diverse. Women in India is very diverse in different walks, but united with a single mission. So this is the incredible journey of in India that we had. This was what Madam was mentioning, the initial attempt that was done in 2017. Of course, earlier attempts were there in 2011 as well, but this was little substantially stronger than the earlier attempts. But then unfortunately, we could not take off from that point too. And then in 2020, we had again another meeting, which was a Zoom meeting again. This was also a short attempt, non-sustainable. But then in 2021, in July, we bounced back with more vigor and energy. And this is the time when we could take off with the help of the senior nephrologists. This was a pan-India webinar that was organized, wherein who's who from the country has participated with all their inputs. And then we had charted out certain plans and strategies as to how to go about the further activities. So this was the teamwork which all of us had. We made certain committees. We had elected our president, Dr.Urmila Anandh. We have our vice president, Dr. Manjusha Sahai, secretary me, and joint secretary is Dr. Shruti Tapiawala, and treasurer is Dr. Swarnalatha. And we have 6 executive members with the team starting from Dr. Urmila Anandh, Dr. Arpita Roy Chaudhary, Dr. Manjuri Sharma, Dr. Saumita Bakchi, Dr. Anupama, So many people are there who are about 11 to 12 in numbers who are supporting in all the events and all the steps. The aims and objectives of our Win India is like we are inculcating ourselves and of course the younger generation. This is in fact the focus that we are looking at. So pursuing the research work and propagating advancements, promoting academic activities and mentor-mentee. I will tell you in the next slides what we have done over the last 1 year. Promulgating teaching vignettes, public outreach activities, providing platform for networking and popularizing the subject. This is how we had set our mission and goals with the future generations to look up. So this actually initially was a tribute to the mother of nephrology. The mother of nephrology is Professor Vidya Acharya, who in fact is the first lady nephrologist, first woman nephrologist, as Dr. Lloyd recognizes. So she's the mother of Indian nephrology. With her inspiration only, we had gone ahead further. So our hard work begins in the August 2021. This is how we started off. As Madam has said, we started off with our initiation of our website, which is currently active, live, vibrant. You can log in at any time. We have umpteen number of activities going on and updated as well. So our website was inaugurated by our Honorable Governor, Dr. Tamilsai Soundarajan. This is the website ID that I have displayed there. And subsequently, we had the international activity in August 2021, as Dr. Urmila has highlighted, with the faculty from the WIN group, Dr. Lisa Curtis, president of WIN then, and Dr. Liz Lightstone, counselor, and Dr. Valerie Lake. So the 3 women from WIN had supported us extraordinarily and out of the way. And this is a session that we had at the time with a phenomenal attendance from senior as well as the junior nephrologists. And we had scientific sessions as well in August 2021. Then we had gone ahead with the monthly activities. We had charted out our activities so that it reaches everyone in our nephrology society. It was not just restricted to the women, but the women were the speakers, but the audience were of any gender. So we had ensured that our activities would reach the especially the postgraduates, the trainees, the fellows of the nephrology, so that they are inspired and with the activities and with the academics that we have been undertaking. So this was in October 2021. In September, we had a national quiz, followed by this research activity held by Dr. Urmila Anandh in 2021. And subsequently, our president, Dr. Urmila, had come up with a strategy with the International Society of Nephrology, in which you'll recognize Dr. Gloria Ashantang has joined us as an special guest in that webinar in November 2021, 12th November 2021. We had a webinar in association with International Society of Nephrology. So that also we had kickstarted. And of course, we had our own place in the Indian Society of Nephrology Conference 2021. So one particular session was dedicated to Win India. This is how we had moved forward in that particular year. I would also like to draw your attention to our strengths. Our strengths is like the Vibrant India runs with the website. This is our website, www.winindia.org. This, in fact, had been completely the efforts of Dr. Swarnalatha, who is our treasurer, with her team. So we had given input so that it becomes much more lively and updated. So this is running high on its success. And we continue to run this website in a much more successful way. So apart from this, we had also brought in the newsletter. In fact, what I would like to bring to your attention is that when we ask for the affiliations from the International Society of Nephrology, they're more interested in whether we have our own website, whether we have our own newsletter, whether we have our own journal. In fact, knowingly, unknowingly, incidentally, or coincidentally, we have started all these 3 in our first year of activities. So this is the newsletter that we had till date. I'm proud to say that we have released about 5 issues. This is again productive and positive attempts and fruitful efforts by Dr. Swarnalatha. So we had brought out 5 issues of newsletter with the activities by the Win India members, and of course certain messages by the global women nephrologists as well. And we are also proud to say that we have brought in the journal that is named as Indian Journal of Kidney Diseases. 2 issues are released till date. So we are planning to bring out many more. We are planning for the recognition by the other academic societies, but we have started off this, and we are successfully going in this aspect as well. And there is another feather in our cap, that is the registry. This is being done by Dr. Manjusha Sahai. So we are also planning to bring in a national registry wherein the Women in India members will be part of it, and will start sharing the details of the patient, so that we have a cumulative data, at least from the Win India members, which goes as a strong data from the Indian subcontinent. This is the nurturing thought with which we have started the registry. It has just started. I'm sure it's also going to take off and come in flying colors. Apart from that, I'm also proud to say that we have started the mentor-mentee program. We have completed 2 mentor-mentee programs. One was with Dr. Urmila Anandh and one was with Dr. Uma. So we are planning to extend this mentor-mentee programs, not just in Indian platform, but also globally too. So we are looking forward for such associations of the mentorship program too. And of course, we had also focused on certain advocacy programs, of which Dr. Shruti Tapiawala, who is the Joint Secretary, has been advocating in association with the local kidney foundations. This has been a regular activity too from Win India. And we have a strong social media presence with this Twitter handle that we have. Apart from the Twitter handle, we are also there on Instagram and Facebook. We have an extremely strong social media team, which again, at this point, I request Win Africa to have a social media team as well, so that we promote our own activities, not just in the Indian scenario, but across the globe as well, which promotes our presence in the every corner of the world too. So this recently we had the Win icon, after which we had the annual report, wherein I'm proud to say that there are about registered members are about 165, though the total mail list number is about 330, but 165 members are the registered members of Win India. We have various categories. In fact, if you go to the website, all these categories may be looked into, and we have done 13 monthly activities, of which 5 are about international events. The last event was with the TTS, Transplant Society. So with that, we had done the international event, the last international event, and of course we had participated in World Congress of
The
Nephrology.
last international was day before yesterday. International
Madam,
Society
yes,
of
yes,
Nephrology.
ma'am. Yes, day before yesterday with the ISN, tribulations and trials in research in association with of Win India with the ISN. So I stand corrected. This is about 14 activities, of which 6 are international events. And we participated in World Congress of Nephrology as well. We are proud to say that our president has steered in a special session with the Win International and a topical networking by Win India with Win. And we had also participated in the Global Nephrology Village. In fact, this was a huge success for us, huge boost for us, that we had made our presence felt, and our logo was reflected in the WC in 2022. And of course, I'm also equally proud to say that we had done a Herculean task of 1 week long activities on the occasion of World Kidney Day, involving all the stakeholders of kidney care service, starting from the dialysis staff to the general physicians to the patients to the trainees, everybody. We had dietitians, everybody we had involved, though it was hectic for us. All of us had taken one activity in charge and done it successfully. So this was another task which was accomplished by the Win India. Apart from this, we had also received, proud to say that we had received Social Justice Award of year 2021. And of course, as I said, joint academic initiatives with Indian Society of Renal Transplant Pathologists, Indian Endocrinology Society, Indian Dietetic Association. Apart from the 5 international activities that I had mentioned in the earlier slide, mentorship I have already mentioned. We had also had Twitter chats, 2 in number, by our SOMI team. So this is the activity that we have been having. The Vibrant website, the newsletter, the IJKD, the register I've already mentioned. And we are also proud to say that we have started the state chapters. India is a state with 29 states and 7 union territories. So Win Tamil Nadu is pre-existing, but then we are also going to inaugurate that. Win Andhra Pradesh, Win Telangana state chapters have already got inaugurated, and Win Karnataka is a new addition. So these guidelines are released now. We are looking forward to other state chapters which are going to come up. This is how we are going to strengthen ourselves. And of course, we are equally proud to say that there are individual publications and participations of good number of Win India members in majority of the events. We laud the achievements by all of them. And Win Icon is another milestone in our journey, which was recently done in August 13th and on August 13th and 14th. It was a hybrid conference. It was endorsed by the International Society of Nephrology, and a well appreciated scientific program by the speakers of global repute were part of it, and attended by 150 plus fraternity. It was very well appreciated. And we also had cultural event that's called as Win Beats. This is again to make something little away from the academic. So this was also a very successful program of all of us. So this is briefly our info. This is our website, www.winindia.org. This is our Twitter handle, and this is our Gmail address. So you can feel free to contact us at any point of time. But what I suggest at the outset, at the conclusion of this, is that how we started off having a Zoom meeting and electing the president and vice president, the office bearers, as well as the executive council, and talking out the activities so that our presence is felt. This is how we started. And of course, you are seeing our success, and we hope to be successful in the coming future too. Thank you so much for your kind attention, and we are ready to take any questions at this point.
Can we have Swarnalatha to say something? Because Swarnalatha, will you say how the idea germinated, ma? What is our thought process and what we want to take it in the future?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I would like to thank Lloyd Vincent for providing this platform, and I would like to thank Urmila Madam and Manjusha, because I think it was Urmila Madam who started this initiative. By now, you might have understood it's been a long journey. So it's been like 10 years now, a decade now. We have started in 2012. It was not an easy task for us. We had several hurdles. And it was only last year we had taken a long leave, because we have, our approach has changed. Initially, we were trying to, start within India, within our country, and there were so many hurdles. Now we have changed our view, and we have started this from an international platform. So when we had international events, so I think Dr. Urmila Madam has explained how we have started with the big international event, and it was taken with a very positive sense, and we could take a huge leap. And it has now become one of the important association which is being felt not only in the national platform, but also the international platform. So we have been conducting several activities, as Manjusha has explained very well about our activities and ongoing, the various academic activities, the mentor-mentee program, and then we have other activities. I would like to just briefly tell upon the website which I'm handling, and also the newsletter. So if I'm allowed, I'd like to share a few slides if it's
That's
fine.
Actually, as Swarnalatha is sharing, the ethos is to help youngsters, to bring them into a platform, to take away their inhibitions and limitations, and make them showcase their work. So that's what Win India is all about. And we have taken the support from International Society. I'm sure we will all help you and give it forward to Africa, so that you can also start your initiative.
So as Madam has said, so basically this platform is to provide particular what we have observed, what we have experienced is like, once we finish our the DM post-graduation, particularly women, they face a lot of personal challenges. And by the time we try to overcome that and then we come out, we feel that we are lagging behind. So we wanted to provide this platform where, women can balance both academic as well as their personal life. We wanted to have support them. We wanted to help these, particularly in their, the age group where they have faced difficulty to balance personal and the professional life. So that was the main aim of this platform. And I think we have partially succeeded in doing so. So, and one of the milestone in achieving this was particularly, this is one of the website which we have created. I think this has been a very vibrant and then very dynamic. So we try to update all the activities. This is how this has become a face of our association. So we update all the activities, and we have the the membership area in this, where everyone can become a member. So we have rules and regulations. We can look at the membership details in our website. And then we update the academic activities as well as the research activities. And then we have this mentor and mentee activity. We have finished 2 mentor mentee activities as of now over the past 1 year.
Move the slide, slide move, next slide.
Yeah. So we also update about all our academic, the committees. This is the council members. And we have various committees, including the web portal, the newsletter, the journal, the academic activities, the scientific program, the SOMI team. And we have update on all the education activities going on. Every month we have activity, we have international meetings as well. And we do have the events other than the routine clinical activities like research activity and scientific, and then the publications done by our BIN members. And we also have this social media, very active social media team, which is a part of the ISN social media team as well. And we do have the scientific resource where we update about the newsletter, the 5 issues of newsletter which have been published, and then the journal, Indian Journal of Kidney Diseases. And we are also planning to have this e-library. So this is accessible to all the WIN members. As has been shared by Manjusha, we have released 5 newsletters, and it contains the journey of the international woman. Now, I would like to request at this juncture that you can also share if you feel that your journey has been significant and we can inspire from your journey. You please share us. We will try to include in our subsequent newsletters. And we have likewise, we have shared one of the journey of the international woman achiever in our newsletter. And this was the newsletter which we have covered the participation from Immune India members in the international conference, the WCN. So exclusive coverage has been done in this newsletter. And we had, as Manjusha said, that we have had 1 week of celebration in WKD. And this we have to try to cover in one of the supplement. And we had our governor of our state inaugurating that newsletter. So it's been it gives the details of all the activities we try to, we are trying to do. And this was a recent latest newsletter which I have released, and we have tried to cover our annual conference which we have done concluded recently, that is in August 13th and 14th. So this is how, it contains not only the academic activities, but also the non-academic achievements also. The women, they are all, expert in not only academic, non-academic. So we try to encourage even those things also, so that it becomes a comprehensive or overall growth of an individual, both balancing the academic, personal, and whatever the hobbies we would like to nurture those things as well. So we had this inaugural event, which was inaugurated by our honorable governor. And we also try to update all the activities in our newsletter. And we also try to come up with journals, IJKD. And we officially have tried to take the help of the professional, the journal professor, the MedNow. The subsequent issues will be under the guidance of the MedNow. So we have been successful. I think these are the few of the milestones where we are able to make a note in a national and international platform. So we are trying to grow both ways. One is towards the encouraging our own women nephrologists in India, and also trying to extend a helping hand to adjacent countries where they can build their own women in nephrology. So as we have a meeting now with Africa, and I'm sure in future we would like to help you out and to build your own program, and we'll try to travel together and take other countries as well along with us. So main agenda of our women in nephrology is, as you said, particularly to provide a support system within and also to other adjacent countries. I think this is wonderful program. We had a wonderful journey, and we also had recently the annual conference. I think in future we will strengthen ourselves not only within the countries but as well as the internationally. Thank you very much for providing the opportunity, and we are open to the questions.
Thank you so much, our discussants, for the nice presentation, and thank you for this extensive and remarkable work that women in nephrology in India has been doing. It's truly an eye-opener to us in Africa. And before we go to that session, I would like just to introduce and recognize some of participants who are also nephrologists, women nephrologists from Africa. We have our senior doctor or consultant from Muhimbili, Tanzania, Dr. Jacqueline Shaw, also is with us. Dr. Huda Akrabi from KSMC in Tanzania, currently in South Africa. Dr. Amira Deng from Tanzania, Dr. Witness from Ifakara, and Dr. Peace Bagasha from Makerere, Uganda. All of these are women in nephrology from Africa. And I hope we are also joined with our fellow nephrologists. And this is truly an eye-opener for us. So for now, I would like to welcome any discussion, any comments, any questions from the participants. You are welcome. If you want to talk, you can use a raise hand feature, and then we can give you a chance for comment or question. You are welcome.
Thank you very much for this phenomenal work. I should say phenomenal. I mean, the list goes on. Wonderful website, newsletter, journal, Indian Journal of Kidney Disease, 2 issues already released, National Registry, mentorship program, advocacy program, social media, which is strong, annual reports, 165 members, academic activities, already international 6, World Kidney Day, a lot of activity, Twitter chats, state chapters, that's really going into big detail, conference, research activity, and e-library. It's phenomenal. I mean, how you have achieved this in such a short span of time, that means very vibrant. I mean, I think the whole group is really very vibrant. And I think it's key, and it's no words to say, what you all have achieved. What have been the challenges that you faced? But, I don't see that there's any challenge now looking at this list. But still, what are the challenges that you think, you all have faced when you all have set this up? And extensive.
I think let Manjusha, Swarnalatha, can you say a few words? Then I think we can summarize what are the challenges we face.
Yeah, challenges, Dr. Lloyd. Definitely that was the major thing for us. India is not just a country. India is a subcontinent, as Africa is. There are a good number of nephrologists, of women, and of course, when so many attempts are being made, and when we had asked for the support from the National Society as well, which was not very strongly positive. So all these things, everybody to come on a single platform to think in a more even manner has been definitely a challenging thing for us, because what we were afraid initially was how to bring everyone onto a single platform, and how can we overcome the abortive attempts that were made initially. How do we go about? That's when Dr. Urmila, President, has stepped in and said, we will approach from outside to in, centrifugal approach rather than centripetal. So that's how we had kickstart our programs with the international society rather than having a webinar at the national level. So when the international faculty were involved, just before that, when we had the Zoom meeting, everybody was motivated. That was the change which we had seen, in fact, which was probably not there earlier. The one strong thing was maybe little less numbers were there initially and located geographically little away. And COVID was a bliss to us because Zoom connected us across, networking was strong. So that's how probably we could connect with each other and started off with the international support. That was a very strong turning for us, that we could start off with that. And with that momentum, we framed the office bearers. I mean, we framed the governing council, which, as you said, is extremely active and diverse in their own areas. It is a fortunate thing for us that Dr. Urmila has selected such people who are strong in their own areas and could deliver the product, whatever is expected out of them. So that again had added to our success. And these academic activities, we thought it should be there because the Win India should be live. Just having certain activities on and off doesn't mean anything to us. We should reach the younger generation. We should reach the future generation, the generation next. That was, in fact, the motive of ours. And that's how we had these academic activities, and just not the trainees, but also the advocacy activities, though we did not do many, but few were done by us. And we had also had, we had grabbed the opportunities, Dr. Lloyd and Dr. Frieda, to say that, WKT was one, in fact, we had taught only one day activity, but then we had planned for 1 week activity and we could execute it. I mean, the cohesion was good enough that we could do it. So though initial challenges were there, when the team was in place, everybody had the vibrancy to do the activities allotted to them. That's how we could move forward. And of course, we started the activities with the help of the international support. And we had actively involved everybody, like members. See, this is 165 registered members, but we have 330 plus mail list members who get the communications frequently through the mail of all the activities, and we ensure that a good number participate in all our activities. So, and the association with all the other professional societies had also added to our feather in cap, whether it is international societies or whether it is national societies. So we have percolated into the other specialities as well of our presence. And as you said, state chapters, yes, this adds strength to us. This is, of course, a recent thought of us, but then worked out in a stronger way. So the challenges, as I had mentioned in my discussion just now, were not short-lived, long-lived, were not very subtle, but strong, but we could overcome with integrity and with passion.
Swarnalatha?
Yeah, I think, I mean, there were many challenges. I can't say it was a very smooth journey. And by now you have understood that it's been a very long journey. We started the concept of having a woman in nephrology in 2012. The first meeting we had was in 2012. And fortunately, I mean, the initial slide, Manjusha has shown that one of the mother of, nephrology, Dr. Vidya Acharya, she was a woman. And I'm happy that my own mentor was also a woman. Dr. Neela Prasad. So we are fortunate that we had a woman and we could share our own, challenges, our own difficulties, and then somehow we could form a support system. But looking at the youngsters, what we realized is they don't have the same support system which we had. So, and then we were looking at all the scientific programs. So there were no participation or no representation of the women members in any of the academic programs or scientific programs across the nation or in the state chapters. So that's why we thought there should be some support system or some platform for the youngsters where they can actually, get into that, they can be, pulled into the mainstream, and they can keep themselves connected to the academics, and they are not lost in that. So that was the main idea. But we did had a lot of challenges, and it was only a futile attempts, several attempts during the last few years. Because I think it was physical meeting, getting everybody into a single platform and making realize people that it would work. That was a difficult challenge. I think the main challenge was convincing our own people. Because they have been, even now we find difficult in motivating our juniors. When we call them up personally, they say they are so occupied with the personal things, their household things, and their kids. So it's difficult for them to spare some more time for all this activity apart from their academics. Then we made them realize that it is for them and their own platform. Then everybody are sailing in the same boat, and everybody have the same challenges and issue. So I think main challenge was convincing our own people. So that's where you should be successful in giving that the confidence and making them realize that this is their platform and this is flexible. In fact, recently when we are conducting, when we were conducting the annual conference, we realized that people leaving kids at home, and then spending so much of hours in the next activities. So then that's what we should also have some platform, so that they can bring their kids, and then they can drop their kids there, and it will be flexible. So I think that should be main agenda. And we have been requesting simultaneously with our the national the association to provide us some platform where we can showcase our academic activity, or you can give some option to the youngsters. But that was also initially were considered, subsequently it faded out. So that was another challenge we have realized, and that made us very strong in that idea that we should definitely, this time has come to float this and try to implement this. And as Manjusha said, I think COVID was a major boon to us because it got us connected online. We could every month, it's very difficult to have a physical meetings every month. So I think online meetings, which made us, keep going with one or the other academic activity. And second, I could say the success is Dr. Urmila leading us. And she could, I mean, she's so experienced and she has traveled all across India and also the international platforms. She has very good networking across India and international. She could, I mean, actually bring everybody onto the single platform, and she has handpicked all people who are expert in their fields. That was another reason for the success, and we could face our challenges very easily. And having a different committees, as you said, we have so many activities done in over a period of 1 year. We have this academic activities, we have this journal, we have this the website, we have the newsletter, we have the advocacy programs, we have the research programs. So having those committees and picking the leader for that or leads for these committees, that was another I can say one of the success. And that giving the flexibility of forming their own team members so that they work together as a team and then come out with definite outcomes. So that actually kept us going. And as I said, we have to actually take this to a program to a ground level and involve every category of people, including the residents, and including those youngsters who have just passed out, and including the elderly people who I mean to say the pioneers or the people who have started the journey, the whole journey, and they're actually been the motivators or inspiration to us also. So we have included everybody, right from the first generation to the what do you call it, the senior most in the in our field. So that's how we are trying to be accommodative, inclusive. And I could say another is we are not very exclusive. We don't want to only involve the women. So we have extended our hands, and then we have been inclusive to include the men also. So respecting men in their particular fields and involving them, that has also been, I think, one of the what do you call the success, I can say. So I mean, having a teamwork, including everybody, including the men parallelly, and then the women, right from the youngsters to the pioneers, and horizontally expanded to other committees. Having a other we had programs with the diabetologists, endocrinologists, the pathologists, extending ourselves to other interdepartmental relationship. And also, as Madam Urmila has said, so initially, because we are having difficulties to convincing our own people, we have started from international level. So we could get a confidence or support from the international platform with whatever good networking Dr. Urmila Madam had. So we had started journey in reverse. So starting from an international platform, so that we could convince our own people and then make them accept us, and also giving at the same time giving confidence to our own women people like colleagues, that yes, this is a platform where it has come to support us, and then we can be a part of this. So that's how we try to slowly expand horizontally, vertically, and lower down and everywhere, and become stronger. I mean in the roots as well as growing up horizontally, vertically upwards. So these are our challenges and the solution. I think with all their experience, we are happy to help you out also, and then we'll become stronger together. Thank you.
I think the major challenges we all faced was internally in our mind, the hesitancy, the fear, are we doing it right? It was very difficult for all of us to take that leap of faith. Yeah, I know the International Society of Nephrology helped us, but we had a lot of self-doubts, we had a lot of fear, and we were worried that after so many abortive events, this one should not be unsuccessful. I remember my conversations with Manjusha, Swarnalatha, are we doing it right or not? Overcome this fear, all of you, and form a robust team. I am aware women are much stronger than men nephrologists, and select your women colleagues, find out what is their passion, ask them to lead that area in your nephrology, and I'm sure you will be successful. Just overcome this fear. Don't be worried that this is an added responsibility. I don't have time. I understand you all have a lot of clinical work, and like us, burdened with clinical responsibilities. But I think this initiative will help you, and it will definitely catch the eyeballs of the International Society of Nephrology. It will somersault African nephrology into a different platform. And I'm sure I can guarantee you this with all my conversations with key opinion leaders in International Society of Nephrology. They actually want Africa to come up. And I hope in the 2024 meeting, we should have a Win Africa International Society of Nephrology joint session. Please think of it. Today is just a 1-hour meeting, which Lloyd has given us this opportunity, but we are always there. Our email address is there, womaninnephrology@gmail.com. All that addresses are there. Through Lloyd, please help let us know. We will handhold you. We will help you with your meetings. Manjusha has set up the bylaws, everything. We have registered our organization. You can all do this. And this will not only benefit women nephrologists, I can assure you it will benefit nephrology in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful talks, and I can see in the question and answer session, our panelists have been answering questions from our female nephrologists. And if anybody, even the male nephrologists, you are allowed to comment, to support, or to talk about anything. I've seen some congratulations from our brothers. They've been supportive of this talk as well. Anybody? So if not, maybe can I hand over the session to Dr. Lloyd for the closing?
Frida, we want you to take some encouraging steps. I know Lloyd talks very highly of you. We want you to take this forward. This 1 year of your time should take you all forward. We should have a AFRAN W or WAFRAN or whatever. That's from your side.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, madam. We'll do so. Thank you so much.
Dr. Frida, what I suggest at this point before Dr. Lloyd speaks is, as Madam has said, please form the committee. Whether I don't know whether you call it as a continent, whole continent committee of Africa or country committee, but then I think you should form a committee and then start some or the other activity, whether it's a patient activity, whether it's an academic activity. Academic activity is preferable because you reach out to your trainees and fellows. It may not be a big activity, it can be a small activity, but some activity, and make the nephrologists, irrespective of the gender, feel your presence. The presence can be felt by your activities. So what I suggest is forming a committee, getting registered as per your norms, as per your country norms, or whatever it is, involving the other people, be inclusive, involve the other people, and start certain activities so that your presence is felt not just across the higher ups, but more important, Dr. Frida, is a next generation. So you do an activity which is more fruitful, not just to the society, but to the future generations as well. Definitely they'll be inspired. And then your team is also going to improve. And then you can go ahead with the particular state chapters or country chapters or whatever it is. This is how we have done. So to start with, you want an activity to be done. I think ISN will be ready to help. Maybe we are anytime ready, ever ready to help you out.
Manjusha, they will help. Manjusha, I've had a conversation with the ISN Executive Council. They're ready to help Africa.
Yeah, sure. That's a great news, Dr. Frida.
Just put your wish list. They will guide you, ma'am.
Yeah, so great. That's how you should start. That's how we started. And looking at our experience, the precedence being us, I think you should be able to do. And we promise you at this point, we will handhold you at every step, ensure that you also will be equally successful and more successful probably than us.
Oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate, and we will do our best as you suggested. And thank you for being our mentors. And we are looking forward to make this one successful.
Wonderful, actually. Thank you very much. This is very, very, insightful. We do have a lot of very eminent and very, very active women nephrologists, even here. Dr. Frida, then Dr. Witness, Dr. Akrabi, Dr. Jacqueline Shaw, who is professor pediatric nephrology, Billy. Then we had Dr. Peace Bagasha from. Yes, Dr. Peace is also there. Dr. Peace, would you like to say something from Uganda? Dr. Perez from Kenya. Dr. Peace Bagasha, would you like to say something? Dr. Peace, if you're there.
Yes, I am here. Thank you so much. I was
Welcome.
just trying to unmute. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I think it's a really wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Frida, for pioneering this for women in Africa. And I think that it would really benefit us, especially if we are mentoring the next generation and helping them go through clinical care in nephrology. I just had a baby recently, so I know it's really difficult being a woman in clinical care. So I think that it's very good to be able to give examples to other women and to give examples to young girls and show them that, you know, you can do it, you can have a family and you can have a good clinical practice. Thank you so much. I'm behind you 100%, Frida, and I'd really be happy if we could get women in Africa, women in nephrology Africa going. Thank you so much.
Dr. Peace, you are part of the Emerging Leader Program, right? Dr. Bagasha?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think you should take the lead.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I remember you. I was part of that ELP program. So I mean, see, I think you should be able to form a society, as I was mentioning. Please be active, form a society so that it moves forward. Peace. I think you should do that.
We also have Dr. Jacqueline Shaw. Dr. Shaw, would you like to say something? Dr. Shaw? Dr. Shaw is a professor of nephrology at Muimbili, pediatric nephrology. Dr. Shaw, would you like to say something? You can unmute and say something. Dr. Shaw, you can just unmute and say something.
I'm very thankful for all the presenters. This was a very good presentation. I'm very happy to know that as women, we can also stand and make changes. And for our country, we have a lot of women. I think we are many, more than men in nephrology. And we are very encouraged by this team to at least start something, and especially for the juniors who are coming. If we don't do this, as presenters have mentioned, there are so many things to discourage women from joining nephrology. The world is becoming so busy, women are becoming so occupied, and nephrology is very tasking. So we need to have something to show, and that will encourage other women that we can do this, and as the others are doing. And thank you, Lloyd, for bringing this opportunity to us, and I'm sure we are going to do something. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shaw. I also saw Dr. Akrabi, but I don't know, now she's not online. Dr. Witness, would you like to say something? Dr. Witness? Dr. Witness now is in Nairobi doing nephrology. Dr. Witness?
Yes.
Hello, Dr.
Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have been following the discussion. I think it's a good thing because it will connect us together and it will encourage others to join the team. So I think it's the high time now we need to make something like an association of women in Tanzania so that we can go ahead and do something for the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Witness. Now, we also have Dr. Perez. Dr. Perez, would you like to say something from Kenya? Just an ISN fellow now joined nephrology in Kenya. Can you say something, Dr. Perez? Are you interested in saying something? You can unmute and talk. Dr. Perez? Well, we also have Dr. Vaneshwari, who is a physician aiming to come into nephrology. See, that's another thing. People aspiring nephrologists. Dr. Vaneshwari Bamania, would you like to say something, Dr. Vaneshwari? Just unmute and talk. Just unmute and talk. Dr. Vaneshwari, you are there. Yes,
Hello?
Dr. Vaneshwari, just talk. Yes,
Good evening.
welcome. Good evening.
Thank you so much. This is really awesome. I personally, as an MD student from MUHAS, I got to learn a lot from this. And I'm really inspired by the way women, the way they came up to make this association and try and come up with such beautiful things. It's really inspiring. And to be honest, I personally have been very much encouraged with this talk. And that's why I would like to thank all of you for sharing your experiences and your knowledge. And this is a great opportunity to learn. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Vaneshwari. Thank you. Now, I actually one special person I have is she's a nutritionist working with us, and an outstanding nutritionist. And I think it's not just nephrologists alone who should be part of women in nephrology, but the whole community: nutrition, social workers, nursing staff. I actually did encourage a lot of nursing people to come in today, but we've not had much today. So, but I wanted to call upon the nutrition. Here we have Saumu. Where's Saumu? Saumu has just disappeared. So
I'm
Saumu,
here,
come
Dr.
on.
Lloyd.
Yes,
I'm here.
yes, Saumu. Yeah, we want you to say something. So Saumu is one of our outstanding nutritionists. Phenomenal amount of work. Phenomenal amount of work. So I think she can say something as well. Yeah.
I have not much to say, but this was a very wonderful discussion, and I see female as women we are play a greater work on the nephrology. So I think we should continue to play a bigger role on the nephrology society. But for today, I have nothing more to say. Thank you.
Dr. Shamu, we actually work with, as Manjusha and Swarnalatha will say, every first Sunday, we have our meeting with the Society of Renal Nutrition and Metabolism. The Society of Renal Nutrition and Metabolism Secretary is Dr. Anita Saxena from SGPGI Lucknow. And she and we have a very fruitful collaboration. The Sunday meetings on nutrition actually is co-hosted by Society of Renal Nutrition and Women in Nephrology. So we have been privileged to induct nutritionists. And as Dr. Lloyd says, women in doing in any part of service to patients with kidney disease is actually welcome to contribute and help us in patient care also.
I would like to add at this point, Dr. Lloyd, see, Win India has a membership, which is a life membership, which is like women nephrologists. But apart from that, we do encourage the allied specialties to become members as associate members, whether men or women, and also that is associate member, and the allied groups like, dialysis staff, nursing staff. So all the people, whoever is involved in the kidney care, are encouraged to become members, irrespective of the gender. Only the life member will be the Women in India member, the primary member. Otherwise, irrespective of the gender, we are encouraging everybody to become the members of Win India, so that they're part of the activities and they're part of the care that is given by Win India.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So one last person, a very important person, and actually today she's become the country medical director of Kenya. We have with us is Dr. Mehreen Adam. She's country medical director Kenya, AHN Kenya, and holds a very, very important position in a rapidly expanding program in Kenya today. So this is her first day, and she's also online. Dr. Mehreen, would you like to say something? Dr. Mehreen, yeah, please unmute and talk. Dr. Mehreen is a physician from Nairobi, from Kenyatta University, has worked in dialysis, was worked in the Aga Khan ICU. Now she's taken up a very important role with us as director of country medical director, Kenya. Over to you, Dr. Mehreen.
Yes, thank you so much. I think it's such a privilege to have been given an opportunity to work in a setup like AHN. I think this is what we were discussing earlier in the morning, that in Kenya, we never had such a setups that is using PPPs and establishing renal units with faith-based organizations and collaborating with hospitals to expand renal care in Kenya. And being a female, I just feel even more privileged to be part of this team. My interest has always been in nephrology and kidney care in terms of in our setup, and I'm just really honored, and I'm so glad to be on board, and especially to be mentored by someone like Dr. Lloyd. I'm really grateful.
Thank you, Dr. Mary. So I think at AHN, we have actually been promoting an equity in terms of gender. And it's a very, very important part of the philosophy of AHN. We right now, I think, have more women in AHN than men. Of course, counting the nursing side as well. But even if you take away the nursing staff, we have more women than men, I think. And this is a very important concept for us, women in nephrology. And I think we definitely are going to push on this front. And I thank Dr. Urmila, Dr. Swarnalatha, and Dr. Yadla for having given us this eye-opener presentation with the phenomenal amount of work that is done. I know youngsters from AHN will definitely collaborate, and not only that, Dr. Frida, Dr. Jacqueline Shaw, Dr. Peace Bakasha, and there's so many. Actually, Tanzania has got more women nephrologists than men, and including Kenya as well. So this is I think slowly we will have to actually incorporate more women to form this Win India over a period of time. And it's a very, very important thing that drives nephrology, actually a very, very active, I think the activity is more when women are involved than just men alone. So I think it's important to form a wing in Africa, and definitely we will support in any possible way. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you very much.